Hi everybody, I'm very excited. I'm here in the sanctuary and we have just got to this point, and I know it is a huge progress we have made, and there is so many people that are, well, I would love you to listen to their stories.
My name is Lorna Byrne, and for as long as I can remember, I've seen angels. Not in dreams, not in visions. Physically, just as real as you are right now. But nothing could have prepared me for the day I died and met my guardian angel face to face. I always knew something was wrong with my stomach. The angels had told me since I was a child, but I never complained, never made a fuss, until one day they told me, "Go to the doctor." Now, the doctor booked me for emergency surgery. The next thing I knew, I was on an operating table, and then I was gone. I left my body. No pain, no fear, just a sudden, breathtaking reality. I was in heaven, and what I saw changed everything. I never thought I would die that day. I mean, sure, I had always been sick. My stomach had been a problem since I was a child, but I had learned to live with it. The pain, the discomfort. It was just part of life. I never complained. Not once. But the angels knew. They always knew. They warned me over and over that I needed to see a doctor. I ignored them. I thought, what could possibly be wrong? Then one day I collapsed. The doctors ran tests, and their faces turned serious. I needed emergency surgery. My entire large intestine had to be removed, along with a section of my small intestine. Then it happened. I died, and for the first time in my life, I felt no pain. I remember floating, lifting out of my body as if I had been unshackled from a heavy weight I never realized I was carrying. Everything felt peaceful, weightless. I looked down and saw my own body lying on the hospital bed. Nurses and doctors frantically moved around me, shouting orders, trying to bring me back. But I wasn't there anymore. Then I saw them, angels. They surrounded me, glowing, tall, radiant beings, their eyes filled with warmth. They smiled at me like old friends welcoming me home. And then I saw him, my father. He was young, maybe in his 20s, wearing a hat with fishing flies, just like he used to when I was a child. He looked perfect, untouched by time. I ran into his arms. "I've missed you," I whispered. He smiled. I know. It was then that I realized something profound, something I had known all along but never fully understood. We are not our bodies. We are souls, and our souls are eternal. The peace I felt in that moment, I can't describe it. There was no pain, no worry, just a deep sense of belonging. I wanted to stay. But then, a voice called my name. It wasn't just a voice, it was the voice. God. I didn't see him, but I felt him. His presence was everywhere. His voice was calm, but firm. "Lorna, you have to go back." I shook my head. "No, I don't want to. You still have work to do." I resisted. I pleaded. "Please don't send me back. I don't belong there." But he had already decided. I felt something pulling me backward, like a force stronger than gravity itself. I screamed. And then I was back. I gasped for air, my body jerking awake in the hospital bed. The doctors looked stunned. I had been dead for over 10 minutes. They expected brain damage, memory loss, something. But I was fine, more than fine, because I had seen what most people never get to see. And now, I was back with a purpose. Not long after, I met Joe. He was kind, gentle, the kind of man who made the world feel safe. But there was one thing I was terrified to tell him. I saw angels. Physically, every day. One night, we sat in his car, and I finally got the courage. "Joe, I see angels." He blinked at me, then smiled like I had just told him I liked chocolate ice cream. Only priests and nuns have spiritual experiences. Then he kissed me on the cheek, and I got out of the car. I remember looking up and saying, "God, you got this one wrong." But of course, he hadn't. Joe and I got married, moved into a small cottage in Maynooth, and had 4 children. Life wasn't easy, but it was full of love. Until Joe got sick. His health started failing, heart surgery, strokes, diabetes. I watched the man I loved slip away, little by little. Then, one night, I crawled into bed beside him. And standing right there, next to us, was his guardian angel. The angel looked at me and said, "He won't wake up." I froze. I knew I had to call for help. My hands shook as I dialed emergency services, even though I already knew it was too late. And then I saw it. His soul lifting out of his body. The light in the room changed, filling with warmth and brilliance. I wanted to scream, to hold him back, to tell him not to leave me, but he was already gone. Then my son Niall ran into the room. He didn't know. He tried to revive his dad, pushing on his chest, shouting his name. I wanted to tell him, "Stop, you can't bring him back," but I couldn't. The days after Joe's passing were a blur of grief. Then, one day, Archangel Michael appeared. He said, "Lorna, I have a message for you." I barely had the strength to listen. "It's time to write your first book," I laughed. Out loud. "You've got the wrong person." I couldn't read or write. I was dyslexic. How could I possibly write a book? But the angels insisted. I was still skeptical, until a knock came at my door. A man stood there. He didn't say much, just placed a huge box on my table and left. Inside, a laptop, a printer, a speaker. I turned to the angels. I don't even know how to turn this thing on, but help came. A kind neighbor set it up and showed me that I only needed to press a few buttons. And just like that, Angels in My Hair was born. Writing was just the beginning. I started sharing my story, giving talks, and opening people's eyes to the spiritual world around them. Then God gave me another task, the sanctuary, a place in Ireland where we could grow food and give it to those who needed it most. But here's the thing, I can't do it alone. God once told me, many are called, few are chosen, and even fewer say yes. And if those chosen don't say yes, the world will never change. People always ask me, what's the purpose of life? I tell them, stop asking, just live, because living is the purpose. I know now that we don't need to fear death. It's just a doorway, a transition. And on the other side, love, light, peace. So don't be afraid. Don't wait. Go on the journey, because being alive, that's the real miracle. Looking back, I realize how much we take life for granted. We rush through our days, worrying about little things, forgetting that every moment is a gift. When I died, even for just those 10 minutes, I saw what truly matters. It wasn't money, it wasn't status, it was love. The pure, powerful force that connects us all. I used to think I was alone in my struggles, the poverty, the dyslexia, the feeling of not belonging. But I was never alone. None of us are. Our guardian angels are always with us, guiding, protecting, whispering encouragement even when we feel lost. Coming back wasn't easy. I wanted to stay in that place of light and peace, but I had a purpose, to share what I had seen, to remind people that heaven isn't just a distant dream. It's real, and so is the love that surrounds us, even when we can't see it. People ask me, what's the meaning of life? I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. We are here to love, to help, to lift each other up, because in the end, love is the one thing that never dies.